Okay, Nemo, you have just come back from another End FGM trip. You went to an area called Iseki at Iseki Baptist Church. Tell us a little bit about the area. We're talking Maasai, is that correct?
Yes.
And what ages do the girls get married off at the earliest?
At 10 years old.
10
as young
years
as
old,
20.
girls are being married off. And to what
Yes.
age is the man?
40, 50, as old as her grandfather. Yeah, as long as he has cows that he will give to the father or to the family, then it's a done deal.
And so this is primarily a business deal for the parents of the girl.
Yeah, I look at it as a business deal because it's like exchanging one property to the other person. It doesn't really have, the girl doesn't have any control over her life. She doesn't have a say in it. And it's against the law because that's underage marriage. It's an early marriage and she's not even of age to get married to anyone. She's a girl who still has her rights to education, her rights to food, her rights to medical facilities and all that, but it's not being given to her.
Okay, but even though it's against the law, nobody stops it.
Nobody stops it because first and foremost, Kajiado County is really vast. Out of all the counties that we have in the country, because of them being a pastoralist community, amenities, roads, hospitals, schools, it's still a very big problem. So even us getting to them, they're still considered as a marginalized community. And right now they are even being considered indigenous communities.
Okay,
so,
you had two major highlights from this time. Tell us about the first one.
My first highlight was 1 degree of the training I have been doing as a discipleship tool to pass on to pastors and leaders and women. It's paying off because during this trip, the pastor of this church at Eseki Community Baptist Church had attended the 1 degree of training that we had at a different village called Batmaru. And he had already started passing on the tool and the discipleship to the members of the church. And when I shared, just to lay base, the story in Matthew chapter 5 from verse 23 to 24, where it says that if your brother has sinned against you and you still hold him in your heart, leave your sacrifice at the altar and go and reconcile with him, then you can come back and give your gifts to God. And we just basically laid the base of talking about forgiveness. I told them to go out, get a stone, and come back with it. And when they held on to it, they were like, we are getting tired. And I was like, this is how we hold on to things in our hearts, the bitterness, the unforgiveness. And we need to live in a peaceful way, in a loving way with the people in our community, speak kind words to our children, words that encourage, that build, that support, because they are the next generation and we can't keep speaking words carelessly. The other highlight was they are embracing Christianity. This is a community where they don't have churches, so churches are beginning to come up right now. And for this pastor, he has to leave one village to come, travels on Saturday, sleeps in one homestead so that he can share the word in the next day. And when they watched on the day 2, when we shared and then showed the video, because day 2 we had men who came and they were some elders and leaders in the community. When they watched, because this is something that is done by the women and not by the men, so they absolutely have no idea what happens behind the closed rooms, and they could not imagine the kind of pain that their daughters go through. And they were like, we can't continue doing this to our children.
Now, it sounds like the people are asking you to come back to teach. Is that correct?
Yes.
So they're actually hungry for deeper theology. They know they need it.
Yes. Because of what we had been doing from when we started, when I embraced fully 1 degree off and all that. So we've had one of our Timothy's, Pastor John, who has been coming alongside us as our translator for all our meetings. So he has slowly been building up his foundation of the teachings and all that.
Amen. So Pastor John will be going out there hopefully and training them.